Hey everybody, it is Neoshia and Deshay for another mother and daughter conversation. And we thought that this would be an opportunity, a great opportunity to talk about things that are going on with us today. And it's not anything new. We wish, well, I don't even want to say we wish that it were, but it's definitely something that we are tired of having to repeat. As you've seen everything that's going on with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor,
Yep, Ahmaud Arbery.
yeah, just all these different incidents. And the last incident with a young man named Jamal Williams, who was a mentally ill patient who had been shot by an officer who accidentally shot his partner and then shot the young Jamal, who was admitted because he was having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
Never heard of someone going into a mental hospital seeking help actually being shot by a police officer. So there's so many things that are going on.
yes, and this one too. We need to say about Jamal. It hit close to home for us
Yeah,
because this is actually our cousin. This
yeah,
is our dad's first cousin's son, and yeah,
awesome
so it's
kid.
getting closer and closer to us in our community. So we just want to talk about it and be aware because it could be your family member next, it could be your friend,
Yeah,
loved one,
yeah.
neighbor.
And Jamal, and I saw some of the comments on social media, and they were very cruel. And people said, "What are you going to do? March about him next? And are you going to say he's a good kid?" And actually, he was. He was a young man. He was playing football in college. He was working on his master's degree. He just had a nervous breakdown. There's so many things going on, and believe it or not, if you're older and you can't take it, if you're just now hearing about this, Black people have been dealing with this for years. Now imagine somebody young seeing this on TV, being a young Black man, and all you see on TV is Black men, especially young Black men being killed at an alarming rate. And he had a mental breakdown, and his family took him to the hospital in order to get help. They sought um, and mental therapy for him. I can't get my words out. But anyway, we're not here to defend. We are here to talk about and find solutions because many of you, both all Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, everybody has been out in the streets protesting lately. We have heard so many things about protests. As a matter of fact, we went and we led a march on our own where we actually prayed for different places. And different people are out there marching with one common goal in mind for us to be able to come together and talk, to find some type of resolution. But the reason that we decided to do this show today is because we wanted to talk about what do you do after the marches, because there will come a point when people aren't marching anymore and everything seems quiet. And we do not want this behavior to repeat onto the next generation. So we thought it would be a great idea to come together and talk to you all about solutions. So what do you do next after the marches, after the protests, and after the prayers? How do we keep the fire lit where people become more aware of what they're doing? Whether it's a police officer, whether it's a young Black man, whether it's a young white man, male, female, whoever, what do we do next in order to not repeat the behavior, in order to move forward, and in order to grow as a people? Because the one thing that I always have to stress to people that this is about the human race. In the day, people ask the question, now I have to say this, well, why does Black lives matter? All lives matter, yes. But Black lives matter definitely because Blacks are being killed at an alarming rate. I like to say it like this. I talk about the endangered species list, right? There are some animals that make the list. Why? Is it because we don't care about other animals? Of course we care about other animals, but we understand that this animal is dying at a rate that is making them endangered and their species almost extinct. So what we have to do is we have to be careful with this particular animal to make sure that their breed doesn't die out. Therefore, we put them on the endangered species list. They are important at the moment, always, but definitely at the moment because they are in danger of being extinct. Now, same thing with Black Lives Matter. It is very important that we pay attention to this because Black people are being killed at an alarming rate. And it's getting to the point where society is trying to figure out what's wrong. What do you mean what's wrong? It's not right. It's not right. We need to do something about it. So that's why everybody's in an uproar. Another thing, you've seen a lot of protests and there have been people looting and burning and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's been happening since the beginning of time. It's not right. But do understand, that's not just black people out there looting. It's all kinds of people out there looting. Some people that are called agitators who are doing things that they should not do. And the first thing that a person says, they want to shut down, oh, they're looting and burning up. First of all, most of this stuff does not belong to black people. Second, most of this stuff is insured. Third, a lot of the black people and the people who are protesting are not the ones that are doing this. So please be aware and don't let that be an excuse for you to decide to shut down when we all should be fighting for equality and we should all be fighting for justice for everybody. Okay, so with that, we'd like to begin our series. So give me a moment and I'm going to click into our presentation. Here we go. Now all we got to do is make it bigger. How do I do that? There we go. Okay, so after the rallies, the protests, marches, and prayers, what's next? I'm Yosha, this is Deshay. Welcome to another mother-daughter conversation. The million-dollar question, now what? Contact your contacts. We cannot say it enough. You meet people, friends during these rallies. You meet interesting black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, police officers. Everybody's meeting each other. Everybody's trying to find solutions. Stay in contact with the people that you meet. You probably meet some people that you would have never otherwise met before. Great time to stay in contact. So here are some ways.
You can collect numbers and business cards of some sort. Build friendships with these individuals. Go out for coffee. You know, that's something that's really popular. After you meet somebody, not sure where to go for coffee. And I understand that because of COVID, some of that may not be possible. So meet them outside at a park or somewhere.
Yep.
Have a Zoom meeting.
You can even have iced tea.
You can even have iced tea. Stay in contact through social media by joining groups. You know, Facebook is so easy to start a group about anything. Just look at something that you're interested in. Look at your local community search and see what's going on around you. And stay interested and invested. So if you're interested in a cause, keep following different hashtags, keep following different people, see what your friends are following. Learn about that. Look in newspapers or whatever and see who's talking about local groups in your areas that may be contributing to Black Lives Matter at the time, or just any type of protest. Like us, my mom started something through the church called Post Up and Pray. And it's basically for mothers, you know, making their children aware of the racism and stuff that's going on in the communities, because mothers play a huge part in, you know, disciplining their children or teaching them in general.
And also empowering their husbands. Women play a large role in empowering their husbands. So you want to keep him filled up with love and talking about unity and things like that, because your husband might be that officer that's going out. Your husband might be that man that's going out. Maybe he's upset about something. It's like, honey, before you walk out the door, take a deep breath. We play such a powerful role. So doing things like that, when you meet people, staying interested and invested means that after this is over, don't think that it's over. It's not over. So you want to stay in contact. You want to build friendships, and you want to stay invested in what it is that they're doing, what it is that you're doing. Don't be surface. Surface is when you meet somebody for the moment, conversation is great, you all hit it off, and then you go on about your business like all is well in the world. That's not true. So make sure you stay in contact. The most important thing that we always say is treat people how you want to be treated. Gather community resources. People love it when you make their business your business by becoming educated in their interests. So here are some ways.
So you can research and take some history lessons, not just online, but in the library, or look in old newspaper articles. And even for some of us who are not, I'm not going to the library, look on Google, but the best thing is you probably find more accurate depictions in a book. People don't get a chance to mutate it as much.
And also now a lot of things are online now. The libraries are online.
Yep. So if you can't get in, you can definitely get a a
library
Kindle book or
card
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then then ask as long as with the community resources, that's a great way for you to start a conversation with somebody. You may not know everything, or you may have one side of it coming from the author, from the book, or from the article, but that person can give you an account, a word of mouth account too.
Right. So it's helpful. Just like us, we're new in this area. Been here, parents for 4.5 years now. So it's kind of great when you go out and you start researching this stuff and actually start meeting people from your area. See how it was here 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. See how, the older people just check out the times and see if there's a difference. Attend a city council meeting. So even though the protests are helpful, the marching is helpful, what's even more beneficial than voting even is getting involved in the city, figuring out local laws and things getting passed, seeing who these people are that represent you. You have a voice and you can use it. So that's the perfect place to go there and make sure, you're getting the facts straight. Research your local politicians and their views on things that concern your allies. This is something that's really important. I know sometimes people get to the polls and you don't even know who this is that you're voting for.
Especially when we pick out judges, and judges are so important because they influence the law in the land. So we need to know who these judges are ahead of time. We need to hear their backgrounds. Are they prosecutors? Are they defenders? How many cases have they tried? What type of cases have they tried? What type of sentences are they passing out? Because these are the people that are going to influence our law. And I'm sorry, if you are somebody from back in the day or recently and you have these viewpoints that are prejudiced or against one particular group or biased or whatever, we don't need you being judges inside of our community.
And not only that, don't be too nervous about finding out about this information. Like, oh, what if I don't know where to find this or anything? This is why you can go to your libraries. Libraries are more than resources for checking out books.
Yes.
They have everything that you need to know about your communities, to starting a business, to getting any type of permits or anything that you need to do a protest or anything of your own. So use these resources and find out about these people. And also with the local politicians, it's important to know that all their information is public. So you can see how they voted on a particular issue. You can have it, just reach out to somebody in the community and just ask them, where can I find this information? So you can look. One very important resource that I found was 8can'twait.org.
Love it.
And I thought it was pretty interesting because social media, right? My godfather, he lives in Germany. And although he lives there now, he was born and raised in Chicago. And he wanted to have a voice to majority of his audience, which is here in the US. So he was posting resources like, hey, check this out if you want to learn about how to change this. So 8can'twait was one of those. .org was one of those websites where not only does it show you what it is that people are protesting for and what policies they want to get changed, but they have different templates on there so that you can send a letter to your governor, to your mayor, just anybody, and they have the templates. The only thing you have to do is just type their name in it. They have emails, they have letters, they have phone calling cards, so you can say your script when you call them. So it's possible. The resources are here, but now it's using them.
And 8can'twait, we hate to sound like an advertisement for them, but the resource is so great. And I think it was created by police officers, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw him on a television interview. And it's also great because they teach you and show you how to change legislation. Like they walk you through the whole steps. Yeah. And they also tell you, like, if your state allows chokeholds, if an officer can just pull you over, just different things that you may not know. Because when you go from state to state, county to county, there's different rules. There's state rules, there's federal rules.
Like,
blah,
did
blah,
you
blah.
know that even, I thought something that was shocking was that if an officer pulls you over and he pulls a gun out on you, in some states or cities, and this really goes by the city, they don't have to report that. So these are things that we have to.
What is that called? Extensive reporting? Reports that they have to write out. Some of them don't. Mm-hmm. You're right.
Yeah.
Some of them are even allowed to shoot into car vehicles. Moving car vehicles.
So
you can vote against that.
You can vote against that in its ways. And even though there aren't all cities on there, They give you the template, and the only thing you have to do is send them out something and let them know about your city and what's going on there, and they'll put it up on the site and make sure you have everything so that you won't be going up to legislators feeling uneducated about what's going on.
Yeah, because it helps you. So these are resources that's good for everybody because we all want to get better. So here's that information again. It's 8can'twait.org. Check and see if your city is on the list. If not, ask them to add it. And again, I wrote that down. Did you know that in Detroit, Michigan, they do not ban shooting into moving vehicles? These are things that we need to know so that we can make the changes necessary for our communities.
Yes, and I believe recently here in Michigan, I just heard an advertisement on the radio with one of our representatives saying that they got rid of the chokehold, or they voted to rid the chokehold. So yeah, this is changes being made, people.
We just got to make sure they are implemented.
Yep.
So here's another thing: get outside of your comfort zone. Take a trip on the other side. Do not let what you see in the media scare you. I can tell you that I'm a journalism major. I have 3 degrees in journalism from Columbia College Chicago. And I tell you, one of the first lessons I learned in my journalism class was that it was more telegraphically acceptable to see African Americans being arrested on TV. And they also said it was also easier for reporters to interview African Americans after they have had something violent happen to their family than it is any other race. Why is that? It's probably because it happens so often inside of our communities, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be the only Black person in the journalism class hearing that it's telegraphically acceptable to other people to see African Americans being arrested. So people accept that it's okay to see Black people on the TV being bad. It makes me feel good about my people that we aren't bad. But what it does is it also makes you feel like we are bad, and we are all not bad, just like all of you aren't bad. So we have to be careful with these different biases that are placed inside of our heads. Now, if I was taught that in a journalism class, imagine what other people think. And take a look at the news. That still rings true. This was over 20 years ago. So here are some ways to help you get out of your comfort zone so we can just smash all of that stuff. Here we go. Visit other churches. Try churches of different ethnicities. Are we telling you to leave your current church? No, we are saying, please get in the church. We are telling you to just go and visit. And don't go in there telling them what you want to give them. Ask them what it is they need, or see how you all can work together. That's very important. People like to be talked to and not at. Go to a community event. Find out what's going on inside of it. You can go to a Black community event, just like Black people can go to white people community events, or Asian people community events, or Hispanic people community events, or Indian. We are all here in America together to enjoy and live life
and
together.
And it also shows too just the representation in that neighborhood. You know, sometimes people may get into certain areas and you might be like, man, I live around a lot of white people. They having this community festival. I probably shouldn't be going to that because, you know, but the good thing is, like, if you go, they see you there, and you'll be surprised what type of connections you will make. And this goes for people too. If you have a homogeneous neighborhood and you notice somebody there who you may not have seen before that looks pretty interesting, be the bridge builder. Yes. Be nice, because clearly you're the majority here and you're noticing this person. So bring them in. Figure out what's going on with them. See if they stay in your community, and they're from there build a relationship. There's nothing wrong with just saying hi.
We say that just say hello. It's that simple. Just say hello. We are human, just like you are human. We have feelings, just like you have feelings. We don't think that that you can look at us and be afraid, and we can't look at you and be afraid. You know, because you saying the wrong thing could cost me my life. So, you know, we need to work on being a lot more friendlier to each other, just coming up and just saying hello.
Yes.
Check out the calendars of community organizations, not just one time, but multiple times, so people can get to know you and know that you are truly interested. Another thing that happens a lot inside of with Blacks and whites is sometimes whites will come in, they'll come to one event, and then they'll go away with a ton of questions, and you're thinking there's some kind of connection and you go away. It happens a lot with products in the store. Companies come out with these products that are supposedly for Black people, We buy them, and then next thing you know, we don't see them no more on the shelf. Don't do that. Don't do that. There has to be a genuine interest there. Don't just do it one and then done. Get to know people genuinely, okay? Because that's how you build relationships. Get out of your comfort zone. It's important.
Be an advocate for change.
That's important. Now you can do this alone, right? It starts with you. So educate your big and small circles. Yeah.
Encourage new thinking. There's nothing wrong with, if you're in a group and you're noticing that everybody is pretty much thinking the same, look the same, feeling the same on
it's
certain
so
issues.
boring.
Everything's just the same. They tell you about that, right? Like the troubles of groupthink. You can end up leading yourself down a path that you probably didn't even believe in the first place. But since you were so afraid to be the person to speak out, you end up with that. So definitely encourage your friends to think different. We listed out some ways to get in touch with different people in the community, and just different ways to educate yourself. Use that, and after you learn it, go back and teach your friends. That's the only way we can really change this. Just like we're telling people now, like it's not enough to be, oh, I'm a white person and I put Black Lives Matter on my circle frame on Facebook. Okay, that's nice.
That's
but
a start.
Are you going back and telling your family about what's really going on and how this is really impacting the nation, and how not only this impacts you in this current season with this going on, but it also, I'm sorry, she just told me I got something in my nose. But this is something that has been happening for years, and just ways to support your African American community.
Yeah. So talk to them about what's going on. Talk to your friends and talk to your family, and try not to argue, and please try not to get angry, because some of it is upsetting. For some of you, this information is new, even though it's been happening for years. For us, it is not new. It's been happening a long time. Please don't tell us how to feel. Please don't tell us, oh no, don't feel this way. Please don't throw the Bible in our face. We love God. It's not about that. We understand about love and all those things, but give us an opportunity to express. But the anger and the arguing and telling people how they should feel, that's not right. And when you start arguing and you start getting angry, what happens is people shut down. You don't want people to shut down. So we have to be able to listen to each other. We have to be able to express our views, whether we like what someone is saying or not. You still have to be open to listen to them. And after they finish, then you express how you feel. If the conversation is not going anywhere, shut it down. That's so important, because you do not, we are not encouraging anybody to lose friends or to stop talking to family. Although some people, it has gotten that heated where people have had to cut off friends. We're not encouraging that. We're just asking that you open up and listen with an open heart and open mind. And then Christ can come in and do what it is that he needs to do. But a conversation does need to be had so healing can begin within your circles, small, big, work, home, school, with friends, and talk to people who look like us. It's hard to tell people about me if you don't even know me. Look at your friend circle. If your friend circle is filled with people that look like you might want to reconsider expanding your circle. Get some more friends in there. Believe me, it's beauty in it. Trust me. We got friends of all different ages, races, backgrounds, whatever, disabilities, inability, everything. And we all get along, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And most importantly, stand up for what you know is true.
Yes.
You believe in it. You've seen the benefits from it. So don't get quiet. Now is the wrong time for that. And pray for one another during this time.
You gotta pray for each other.
You gotta pray.
And that's so important. And sometimes you open up the conversation with the prayer, or you end the conversation with the prayer, or you open it up and end it with the prayer. Because people, even though they may be rejecting what you're saying at the moment, sometimes people don't like to be put on the spot. For whatever reason, people react the way they react. But everybody has that moment when they're by themselves and they have to rethink everything that they talked about, that was talked about. And they have to decide in their heart if they are willing and ready to change. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm ready. I am ready. I'm ready to stop hurting. I'm ready to stop feeling this pain. I am ready, open and willing to talk so that we can move forward. Okay.
And there's the thing too, even though people may not necessarily agree with you right away, if you can at least get them to accept some of what you're saying, eventually they may start agreeing and seeing what it is that you're telling them. But that's all. Change is hard. Nobody likes change. It's painful.
Change is uncomfortable, stretching,
But it's a
growing.
benefit, once you finally transform, it's wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
So invite diversity into your life space. Get some friends who do not look like you. Talk to people. Say hello. It's important. When we know better, believe me, we do better. So hold yourselves and others accountable. In other words, you need to clean up your heart. It's true. I know for me, there were some things that I had to clean up. I could not go into spaces thinking that everybody was against me. So I had to go in with the open mind. Okay, this is an individual. He or she is not all of them. I need to give them a fair chance. Okay, so let me check my heart. So if I'm willing to check my own heart and I'm willing to change some of my beliefs, then you should be able to change some of your beliefs. And I don't feel the way or have felt, I didn't feel the way I felt because of what somebody told me. I know through my own personal experiences. I've been called out of my name. I've been called racial slurs. I've gone through so much. But if I can open my heart, so can you. So I need to check myself, and then you also check yourself. And then I can hold other people accountable. Now I can say to someone else that looks like me, well, everybody's not like that. Or just give them a chance. Or just go in there with an open mind. You just never know. Great things may happen. That's what I'm believing for.
Nice. Also, support minority-owned businesses, not just for Minority-Owned Business Week, not just for
right.
the month. It's like, think about it this way. You know how every time you get somewhere, you be like, oh man, like this would have been good, but I wish it was authentic. Or I wish they made this Jamaican food like how the Jamaicans really make it. Or I wish they knitted this blanket like how they do over in Mexico and all this stuff. Well, guess what? If we don't support them as they start up, we will never get that authenticity in the store. We keep getting American made or versions of everything. You know what I'm saying?
So we got it here in America.
We got everybody here in America, and that's the awesome thing about it. Like we can walk down the street and visit another country if we wanted to, just by building that relationship with our neighbors. So support these businesses.
Yeah.
And
it's okay. You can go into a Black neighborhood or Hispanic neighborhood or Indian neighborhood or any neighborhood.
For Black people, like we can go into any neighborhood too. We shouldn't have to worry about Karens all the time, but we, so it's just go and support small businesses. Everything.
It doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican, all that kind of silly stuff. Put it out the window. At the end of the day, we are human. At the end of the day, we all are God's children, whether we choose to accept it or not. You can go anywhere that you would like to go, and nobody should stop you from doing that. That's silly because the whole neighborhood and economy suffers as a result of it. That's just silly. And you should not be looking at people like they don't belong in places. Remember I said, check your heart, hold yourself accountable. They can come here. So what? They don't look like you, dress like you, sound like you, talk like you. What does that have to do with anything? I bet you that person getting that money don't care. I know the bank don't.
Ask the stupid questions.
The stupid question. That's for all of you who say, I don't want to sound stupid, or I don't want to say anything wrong. Sometimes I'd rather you say something wrong and possibly get corrected than for you to think it in your mind and never get it corrected at all.
Okay, and don't let it come out when you're drunk or something either.
Oh, please, yeah. Oh, that's not good. So ask the questions. You never know. All of us have questions and curiosities about each other. Ask the question. And you don't have to do it in public in front of everybody. You can pull somebody to the side. And don't ask stupid questions to Black women. Is that your hair? What kind of question is that? Do you know me? Do we sleep together? Are you my husband? That's a personal question. Treat people how you want to be treated. You don't want nobody coming to you saying, is that Botox? Is that real? Did you have your eyes done? Silly stuff. Don't do that. Get to know people. Ask sincere questions if it's a personal question, ask a person personally. If it's just a question that you like to know, just say, hey, I don't want to offend. I just want to ask you blah, 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 blah. And just ask the question. It's better to know than to assume.
Yeah. It's okay to be uncomfortable. Just don't stop trying.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't stop trying. I think that's so interesting. So me, I was raised to basically just explore the world, have multicultural friends, and all this stuff. You did a good job with that.
Thank you, Mom's patting
So,
us on the back.
so with that being said, me going to college was my first time like experiencing and living with African friends. So much to the point, like now these girls are my sisters. So I love Ethiopian food. Not love, I do. Still do, and I like eating with my hands and all that stuff and whatever.
I think she like eating with her hands.
I think that's right, but that food is just amazing. So with that, with them, I knew how to eat it based off of, something that my mom taught me, but I was never taught by them. Like, okay, how do I eat this food? Like, what is this whole thing with y'all feeding each other and Goshen and all that stuff, which is funny because they was like, look, we don't do that all the time. But
that's a very intimate thing. I mean, you in.
Yeah. And like at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous to eat it in front of them. Like it's one thing when I'm doing it with my mama, African American woman, but actually getting in front of them and seeing how this goes, I was kind of feeling weird at first. So I didn't want to mess up. So I was just like, y'all can give my plate to go. But eventually, I was just like, you know what, we're gonna have to get past this, and we did. And I was just like, okay, I know how to eat the right way. I know how to say. I know that not everybody want to get fed by their friends all the time. It's only something that happens like really during celebrations and stuff like that. But
I like it.
But I wouldn't have known nor grew further and deeper into relationship with these girls if I just didn't, if I wasn't comfortable with putting my pride aside. So do that, and just
she wasn't comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Comfortable with being uncomfortable, yes. And don't get defensive. Get compassionate. I know with this racial talk, it's starting to float out there a lot more when talking about certain things. Like they tell Black people, like, hey, don't just come out right away telling a white person, like, you were racist. Because
we do not think that all white people are racist. But we know how you feel that way, how you could feel that way. Just like some of you think that because we're speaking out about police brutality, oh, you hate the police, you think police are bad. No, we do not hate the police. No, we do not think all police are bad. No, we do not want police not to have money for funding, but what we do want them to do is get a lot more compassionate, get some better training out there, and treat us like we are human. That's only fair. That's only right.
Just some respect.
Yeah, and we know that there are good officers out there. Not a lot of them, but some of them are in our families. We want our children to grow up to be police officers, but when they're so afraid, that's not good, and it's not because we're lying to them.
Exactly. That's great.
So don't get defensive. Get compassionate. Start listening. No, we don't. Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you need to say, I'm sorry, or you feel like, you can say those things, right? Yeah. But what are you doing about it?
Yes.
And some of you don't understand this thing about white privilege. White privilege is a thing. You need to start reading our history so that you can understand. It's kind of like, and when you don't understand it, here it goes. You are 10 spaces away from the finish line. That's where your start is. My finish line is way back there. They say, go. You're right there by the finish line. I'm way back here. Why? Because you've had a head start. No, you did not have any slaves or own any slaves, but your ancestors did. A lot of people in America did. And as a result, being white, all of the white race benefited from it. If you are not a rich white person or a white person as well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry that you aren't rich, but believe me, you benefit. Your poor is nothing like our poor.
And it goes into, just different things. Something that I've always been taught was if somebody asks you something that may sound off to you, you repeat it back to them.
I told her something sounds stupid.
Something sounds stupid, yeah, but I was just trying to put it in more
in
terms like this. Way. So it's just like, with this stuff, if somebody says something to you like, oh man, you're a racist. What did I say that made you think that I was a racist? Or, for Black people to say offensive stuff, people can say some things. And sometimes we ask, like we talk about the hair and stuff. Oh, is that your hair? Or do you like it? Yeah. Okay. Well, let me tell you why. Just open up that room for communication, and just be graceful with it and let it happen. So even with the whole wealth thing, some people don't know, beyond owning slaves and stuff like that, you have redlining in communities where African Americans weren't allowed
to buy
property
we weren't allowed to
people
have
didn't
jobs.
want their values of their neighborhoods and homes to go down. So because of that, we started the ugly process where, you know, it's hard for us to get loans and stuff for homes, and home ownership is like one of the first like basic ways to get wealth.
To build wealth. Well, if you don't allow us to buy land, you don't allow us to buy property, well, you got majority of the property. We have the scraps. Yes. When you get tired of living somewhere, we get the scraps from whatever money it is that we have. And some of you are saying, well, I have some friends that live in our neighborhood that are Black. Yeah, but how many? How many? I love where we live here in Michigan. It's a very diverse neighborhood. We moved here on purpose, but I can tell you 20 years ago, it wasn't as diverse as it is becoming, right? And it's great that we can live side by side because there's so many advantages to living in a neighborhood that is so rich in culture. It's a beautiful thing. It's kind of like a slice of heaven. But imagine if not only we're living side by side, but we're actually living side by side and getting to know each other. Because that's what God wants for us, okay? He didn't just create roses. He created roses and tulips and blah, 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 blah. So don't get defensive, get compassionate. So here's some other things that can help you after the marches and protests in order to become more well-informed.
Please don't say, I don't see color. You just touched on this. If you can see,
if you don't see color, then 1, 2, 3. You don't know this one? If you don't see color, then you don't see me. There you go. I thought you didn't know it.
No, yeah. So basically, just like we were saying, you know, you can't say you don't see colors, but you can go out into a garden and see all these different flowers and stuff that you may like. Because if that's the case, that's like saying that a rose is every flower, that a dandelion is every weed, or, you know, it's like you
and people eat dandelions. They're good in some places.
Exactly. And then you got other people that's like my dad. He's like, well, I don't care how good a dandelion is for your liver and cleansing. It ain't going to my body because weed is a weed is a weed. And that's not true. Like, it has different purposes, but it's just going to show right there in that example. Sometimes we get so closed off, and because that one weed or that multitude of weeds over there destroyed your lawn, you constantly canceling out all weeds.
All dandelions.
And it's like, no, they serve a purpose, just not necessarily for your yard and your soil right now. Because just because those destroys your yard don't mean they can't help your body.
Exactly. So that's what it is. If you don't see color, you don't see me. And because that is the beauty of who I am. Don't say I'm colorblind. If you're colorblind and all you see is these Black people getting arrested on the news, then you know that, oh, that may be trouble right there, right? There's a reason for that. And we got to start standing up for each other to make sure that stops, okay? So don't say I don't see color. That's what makes me beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. It's what makes you who you are. It's where your culture comes from. It's where your attitudes come from, your views come from. It's a beautiful thing. So see color, because then you can see me. You can see why I do my hair like this, why my eyes look like this, why my skin color is that way. I can see why your skin color is that way, why you think like that, why your hair is that way. You are beautiful. And so are we. So see us. It's important.
See me.
Oh, here's another one. It's okay to call us Black. It is okay to call us African American, but please don't call us colored.
Don't call us colored. Don't call us girl. Don't call us grown men and boy. Don't call us the N-word. Don't call us the N-word.
Don't call us
if you call yourself,
if you don't know what it is,
just
call it a nigga. Don't do it. It's not nice.
Don't become a friend with a Black person and y'all start building this wonderful relationship, and don't even try to be slick before you say it. I don't even want to hear about or know about, oh, well, I was getting real close in with Becky and she asked me if she could call me the N-word. Don't do it.
You should not.
I don't care what you care about people calling you, but don't
call us that. And I don't care even what you feel like you see us calling each other or what the song may say. Do not do it to us. It's not cool. Colored is such an old-fashioned racist term.
I found out now, in college that I was pretty colored.
You were pretty.
I was pretty colored.
Now, we do have some older friends who just can't help themselves. We kind of laugh about that. But no, you should not be calling us colored. And also, you may hear us say, you may hear ads from Black people in advertising saying things like women of color. Saying of color is different from calling us colored.
Yes.
Okay? Do you want to be called colored? If you do, that's fine for you. I won't say it to you, and that's your thing. But here's some things. Laugh at yourself sometimes. Laugh with your friends sometimes. If you say something stupid, yeah, laugh. It's okay to laugh. Breathe.
Right.
It's okay.
Don't
You
be
don't have to
knocking
end
your
the
friend
friendship.
out. Right. Don't be, give them grace. Give them grace. Because that's how it is in the genuine friendship, right? Your friend might say something crazy,
Yeah.
do something offensive. If you love your friend,
Black people and white people and everybody else laugh.
I got a best friend now. I promise you. She get on my nerve. I get on her nerve every time we see each other. For like 3 days, we try to stay to each other, and we probably won't speak for like the next 2 days, but we get back on track. And it's just like that. And you come back. Don't come back and act like nothing didn't happen though, or you weren't offended. That's where the trouble lies and ruin a relationship. You gotta talk. Just let them know. Give it some time to cool off, and then be like, okay, when you said this, and that offended me. Let's not ever have that happen again.
Or just say, I don't understand what happened. Did I say something wrong? I feel like I offended you. And this is more for Black people and white people. This is not a lesson for white people. This is for everybody. Mm-hmm. You can say those types of things and be honest with your friend and say, yeah, that offended me. Or no, I didn't understand what you meant by that. You might say, well, I was trying to be funny. And maybe they'll tell you, I kind of got offended by that. And the Bible also tells us not to be easily offended too. So just kind of be careful. Is the friendship worth salvaging? If it is, listen. Talk to each other. Work it out. Laugh at each other.
But if they keep being too ignorant, just hit them in the mouth.
Don't hit your friend in the mouth. But if you love somebody, you will be careful. You care about what you say to them, and you care about what they think. So be careful. Get to know us better. It's better to be known as awkward than it is to be known as a racist.
Yes.
So get to know us better as we get to know you all.
And that's true. And I just think about it though, because how many gatherings have we had? And we've had friends where we've met people, let's keep it black and white, and we know them, and we know that this person is like cool, but they still trying to get adjusted. And then we got some other Black friends that come around. They be like, "What's up with them? What's up with them?"
Like our one friend who called us colored, like on several occasions. She doesn't do it anymore. Older white woman, man, we love this woman to death. Does she mean anything by it? No, she came up in that era. Okay. So understanding that, look, I don't know. We did tell her like, no, you cannot say that. She was like, oh, I didn't know. We like, that's not a good word. But it's just so funny how we all sit back and we laugh about that. And then she came and told us that she had a black card. That was hilarious.
Right, she came and told her all this stuff. I'm glad I didn't experience her at that phase.
I started cracking up. It was so. I told her she can have a black card. She can have anything she wants. So she got her black card.
It's not universal though. So she got it with us.
Yeah, she got it with us. And because you're cool with your Black friends doesn't mean that all Black people are cool with us. So you got to be careful. Certain things.
So that's why I was just saying, like, hey, be awkward, because we do know those people that come around and people be looking like, what's up with them? We be like, no, like it's not that. They just getting adjusted and all this stuff. They just a little awkward right now. That's fine.
That's okay. All right.
People don't get swag like you.
So you're not. Uh-oh. What's my next slide? Oh, that was it.
So you guys, thank you so much for joining Mad Conversations. And we hope that we just gave you a short blueprint of what it is that you can do next after you march and you've protested and you rallied. It's bigger than that. So I'm glad you put in the footwork. Now you gotta go and put in the handiwork.
Yeah, and here's one more thing that I just kind of like want to tell everybody. Just say hello. Hello, it's me you're looking for. It's okay. Just say hello. You will be surprised at how far you can get in a conversation by just saying hello. And remember, we are all human. We are all God's children. We are all getting to know each other. So again, just say hello. Neosha
and Deshay.
Mother and daughter conversations. Mad conversations. We are really mad. And you can always send us an email at madcombos@gmail.com. Thank you.
Bye.